Well, it's 8:06 on a Sunday. We're glad that you shuffled in. Hey, welcome to Broadway Battles Piano Man Edition. We're so glad you joined us. My name is Jeremy Koch. I'm going to be your host for tonight. We're thrilled. We have some really amazing guests that I'm going to tell you all about. In case you've been living in a yurt somewhere, Farmers Alley is offering virtual programming like this because we can't produce live theater right now as we love to do, but we will soon. The curtain will rise and the lights will come up again. Promise. In the meantime, this Broadway battle tonight has a music and piano flavored theme. It's our Piano Man edition. And here's Billy Joel to sing that song live. Take it away. What? Carrie? No Billy Joel? Okay. I'm kidding. So we have three guests who are just as talented as Billy Joel and a lot younger too. Tonight's event is going to be a lot of fun and we want you to participate. Please drop comments, questions, answers, and thoughts in the comment section below. And be aware that in order to do that, you might first have to go to streamyard.com/Facebook. So let's test this out, shall we? Before I bring out our illustrious guests, let me give you a taste of what kinds of questions I'm going to ask our illustrious guests. The first question is going to be, what is the best musical theater song for a piano bar? What do you think? Do you have an answer? Any ideas? Please put it in the comments section below and participate. We would love to hear from you. Okay. Let's bring out our distinguished guests. First up is an award-winning cabaret artist, accompanist, and music director, David Maiocco. David starred in the Farmers Alley production of Liberace in 2018, which was in collaboration with the Gilmore Keyboard Festival. David holds a Bachelor of Music degree from the Boston Conservatory. Side note, I went there too, and our paths crossed briefly. David has worked in off-Broadway theaters, major cabaret venues, and with award-winning artists, including the legendary Ben Vereen. David is appearing in Zack Snyder's upcoming Netflix zombie apocalypse thriller, Army of the Dead, as Liberace, which is scheduled for a late 2020 release. Please welcome David Maiocco.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Sally. Hi, Jeremy. How are you?
How are you, my friend?
Oh, I had no idea what you'd be wearing. You look great.
I'm all decked out in a Hawaiian shirt, and you went a little more formal, I can see.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't have time to get dressed properly tonight.
Is that what you sleep? Are you ready for bed? Is this what you sleep in? Are these your jammies?
You know, I got to tell you, your Farmers Alley friends over there, my friends, I got used to this, and I think I got used to it too. So I figured I better give them the works.
Well, we love it. You were phenomenal as Liberace. We can't wait. We were supposed to come back, right, this past April, and we're so bummed that you weren't able to come with your friend Chuck Sweeney.
Yeah, well,
to do Lee Squared, but we're going to have you back, my friend. We're going to definitely have you back.
I will love that. I'll hold you to it.
Awesome. Please do. Please do. Let's bring out the other contestants tonight. So Joe Kinosian is the co-book writer with Kellen Blair and composer of Murder for Two, which premiered at Chicago Shakespeare Theater, receiving the Joseph Jefferson Award for Best New Musical and earning Joe a Best Leading Actor nomination. Murder for Two went on to an off-Broadway run and many well-received productions around the world. Joe's work with Kellen, which he received the ASCAP Foundation Mary Rogers Lawrence Hart Award, has appeared at the Kennedy Center, Lincoln Center, and on Broadway at the Theater World Awards, with new musicals in development at Second Stage Theater and Chicago Shakes. Regional acting credits include Two Pianos, Four Hands, An Act of God, the title role in The Nerd, and as the suspect in the Farmers Alley production of Murder for Two. Welcome, Joe Kinosian.
Hi, Liberace. It's an honor to meet you.
Hi, Joe. How are you? It's great to see you.
So good. You're aging beautifully.
Thank you.
How old are you now, Liberace?
I'm 100 plus tax.
Fantastic.
Sleep in a mason jar and drink a glass of formaldehyde every morning with breakfast.
David, I don't know if you can see all the Facebook comments, but people love you. I think they're trying to psych the rest of us out for our competition, but people just really love David.
Well, I gotta tell you, your bio, it just like stuffed mine right into the ground. So I don't know.
I don't have any Netflix on my bio.
I had to condense them. We have so much to get to that I wasn't able to read. They're both a mile long, all three of you. Let's bring out the third competitor that you're going to be doing battle with. Brett Ryback is an actor, composer, lyricist, and writer. He originated the role of Marcus off Broadway in Murder for Two and has performed that role at numerous regional theaters, including at Farmers Alley. He's been seen in several films, and his TV appearances include Modern Family and How I Met Your Mother. He is the recipient of the ASCAP Foundation's Cole Porter Award. His original works include Passing Through, Nate the Great, and many more. He has 2 award-winning plays, which are both published in a book called The Best American Short Plays of 2007-2008. He created the online accompanist site playthisforme.com, and he teaches musical theater at USC. Please welcome Brett Ryback.
Hey, everybody.
Hello,
Mr. Liberace.
Yes, got to pay your respects to the
We
legend.
do.
to the day.
And Joe, it's so good to be side by side with you again.
Joy.
Even in a virtual setting.
It is. High five. Wait, which way is this?
Other way. Come on, guys.
Thank you for that very nice comment, Becky. I feel like I have to field all these kind comments that keep coming in. We've got Becky on the line. Becky.
Thanks everyone for watching, and yes, definitely put your comments in there. And as I said, David was phenomenal as Liberace, and you both were fantastic in Murder for Two. I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better duo. So great to have you back, and we will want to get both of you back here as well. Okay, we're just about to get underway, so let me explain some rules. Playthisforme.com. Very smart idea, Brad. Julie says it's a very smart idea.
Thanks, Julie.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone should check that out if they have any needs. So tell us a little bit about that, Brett. Is it?
Yeah, it's very simple. You go, there's sort of packages of that you can pay for, and you upload music, and then you get an MP3 sent back to you pretty quickly. That's kind of how it works.
That's pretty amazing. That is pretty amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out too. So any singers out there, or are family members of singers, friends of singers, sounds like a great way to get an accompaniment track, right, for a song that somebody wants to sing. I love it. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
You're showing us all up, Brett.
What's that? Yes. Okay. Now, before we get started, I'm going to need some assistance in judging the answers from these musical geniuses. So let me get my right-hand man back. I got to get my right-hand man back. But Lin-Manuel Miranda's not available. So I have settled for local C-list celebrity Rob Weiner. Rob, come on out.
Woo!
That's D-list celebrity, please.
I'm so sorry.
You know, I'm the one here, Jeremy, who studied piano from first grade on. So I'm going to be checking all these guys, your finger posture, your technique, all your theory, everything like that. Make sure that you don't, get out of tempo or anything like that. Otherwise, Mrs. Christian will be very upset with me.
I was just going to say, we got to do a shout out to the teachers, right? We love teachers. Who was your teacher?
Jill Christian was my teacher.
Okay.
Catherine Walker, also a big influence on me as well.
Catherine, wonderful.
We love that Catherine Walker.
And and all my summers at Interlochen Arts Camp as well. So I'm going to be very, very looking harshly at these 3 competitors tonight.
Watch out, boys. You've got some harsh eyes on you.
Right.
Okay. So let's go over the rules, shall we? This is not a trivia show. There are no right or wrong answers. I'll ask open-ended questions relating to music and theater, and you 3 contestants will have 60 or 90 seconds to give your own individual answers. And then I'll open up the floor to a group discussion. The contestants will do their best to convince me and you, the audience, and ultimately me, that their answer deserves to be deemed the best and worthy of the round's points. It's all about the argument. So bring the passion and let's get this battle on. You might want to drop an elbow into the keyboard or something like that. Maybe punch the keyboard would be a really strong way to make your point. Great. And audience, if you want to comment along with us, we want to hear what you think. So once again, make sure you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook to be able to comment with us live. All right. Oh, Kimberly says
Kim.
that you're a genius.
Oh, good. That's the boost I needed, Kim. Thank you so much.
Murder for Two is the best. You got some fans out there too, Joe.
Kim is a wonderful artist in her own right and a fantastic fan. She's been very supportive of the show. So thank you, Kim. Lovely to see you.
Love it.
I should have run my answers by her, actually. She knows this stuff better than I do.
I hope you've all done your finger warm-ups and your vocal warm-ups, and let's get ready to battle.
Open pit barbecue sauce. I'm ready.
Mayo, mayonnaise. Question 1. In many cities around the country, there are piano bars where someone like my guests Joe, Brett, and David, would sit down and play piano and sing to entertain the patrons. Often those very patrons can bring up music and sing for the crowd, kind of like a live karaoke. Well, what songs work best in that environment? Let's check out these answers. So the question number one, as I mentioned earlier, is what is the best musical theater song for a piano bar? We're going to start with David Maiocco. David, what do you think is the best musical theater song for a piano bar? Hit us.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, there are so many good ones, but my favorite is from The Sound of Mugus. You know, that one. It's called Do, Re, Mi. Okay, so anyway, as David, I think that's one of the best piano bar songs because it's interactive, it's educational, as Liza would say, it's terrific, and everyone can participate. You don't have to have a degree in music to play it, to sing it, and you get to see who is really trashed, and you can throw everybody off. It's great. You can do it in so many different styles and so many different keys, and I think it is.
Let's give a little taste of it.
Well, okay. So we have the standard. I got my iTelephone here that needs to move here. Do a deer, a female deer, right? Ray, a drop of golden sun. And everybody knows that part. You teach. This is a teaching moment, right? Fa, a long, long way to run. But you can also do it in a minor key, too.
Ooh.
Do a deer, I hit a deer. Ray, the guy who drove the car. Me, I'm sad, I'm very sad. Fa, he bounced fa off the car. Right? You got all that stuff. And then if you're talking about do and movable do, time's up here.
Yeah. One more.
Okay.
Yeah. Finish your thought.
Well, the thought is, if do is fixed, like do, re, mi, fa, so, then you could actually challenge people to sing Ray, a golden sun, me, a name I call myself, key change.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, mi
Yes.
sharp, fa minus, yeah. So
Wow.
anyway,
Okay.
that's my favorite.
All right. So the first response to the first question, do, re, mi. Thank you, David. All right. Let's move to Brett Ryback. Brett, what do you think is the best musical theater song for a piano bar?
Well, I think that when you're gathered around a lot of people, and as David mentioned, they've been drinking a lot. You want something that immediately when they hear just literally the first chord of the song, they go, "Oh my God, I know that," and they jump up and want to sing. And for me, there's no song that is immediately recognizable in one chord than All That Jazz. You hear this and everybody goes, "I know that," and All That Jazz. And the other thing is that because Chicago and because All That Jazz is set in sort of speakeasy times, it fits perfectly in a bar setting, and everybody gets to kind of slut it up a little bit, and they want to they're there with a date and maybe they're showing off, and so this will immediately get people up off of their chairs. They'll gather around the piano. Come on, babe, we're gonna paint the town. And all that jazz, I'm gonna paint mine, and so on and so on. So that's my vote for the best song at a piano bar, All That Jazz.
That is a very good answer, I have to say, and very catchy, very recognizable. I do have an itch to paint the town right now. Maybe rouge my knees. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm feeling it.
And I've got my stockings rolled down, so
I knew it. I had a feeling.
because it's a Zoom, it's on Zoom or whatever we are.
That's right. I'm not wearing anything, any pants, but that's a different story. Okay, excellent question. And moving on, now let's go to Joe Kinosian. Joe, what do you think is the best musical theater song for a piano bar?
David, Brett, excellent thoughts. Excellent thoughts. My choice is a little song called Tomorrow from Annie. And the reason I chose this is because the lyrics are so famous. It's not just a song where you know the tune, but you actually know those words. Everyone knows those words. And everyone knows those words because there was the original in 1977. Fact checker can back me up on that. There was the John Huston movie in the 80s, early 80s. And then there was the TV movie with Rob Marshall, Kristen Chenoweth, Kathy Bates. And then there was the remixed version with Kavejane Wallace in 2012. So it's hit all these different people at a formative age through the decades. So I think it's so appealing to the crowds at piano bars because everyone has a childhood association with that song in all the different versions that it's had. I think it has the added bonus in this time of strife, of looking forward to the future. And I didn't even need my 90 seconds because I think that says it all.
Joe's feeling very confident. He's like, game over. Question 1 is all mine. All right, let's bring back the competitors. Okay, boys, very, very good. These are all excellent answers, well thought out and interesting. We want to do a little bit of battle royale. So let's try to knock each other down a peg. Brett, what did you think about Joe's selection here?
Well, let me just say this. I was really with David when he brought out Do Re Mi. I thought, wow, he's really got me. But then he said, you don't need a musical degree to know Do Re Mi. And then he started moving Do around. And I thought, no, I think you need a musical degree to do that. So, David, I'm not sure that you were right there. And then Joe, listen, you're so right about those lyrics. Everybody does know them. And tomorrow, like at the beginning of a night that's like the end of the night. We're all ready to go home. It's kind of sad. It's a little, it's a little.
You think it's sad? I think it's triumphant.
Well, I mean, just the way you played it, it sounded sad.
That was my intro version. You want to hear the finale?
And also, you mentioned the sort of intergenerational aspect of it, but I'm not sure I know too many 12-year-olds at piano bars.
You're not going to the right ones because I go.
Those are rocking. That's my response to those two gentlemen.
All right, Joe, hit back.
Well, I think All That Jazz is a great answer because it does incorporate the movement that every drunk kind of knows and all that jazz. But I think there's something to, at a piano bar specifically, at the beginning or the end of night. Notice the question did not state what time this selection takes place. I'm just putting that out there. Doesn't matter. But to appealing to someone's youth, because those are the songs that really stick in your head. And I think the goal at a piano bar is to get people up who may just be light musical theater enthusiasts. It's a good mixer.
David, get in there. Throw some punches.
Your youth. My youth is Gregorian chant. I have piano bar set. Well, listen, I thought, All That Jazz is one of those wonderful numbers. And you had me until you said it's one of the ones that gets people coming up and coming to the piano. We don't want them to talk. We don't want them there. Stay close enough that they can touch, but don't do it. But it is one of those wonderful things. You get to see straight people from the suburbs at their absolute worst when you play that one, for sure. Tamara, I love that song. That was one of my possibilities. I absolutely loved it. I have more money than Daddy Warbucks, so I really like it. But again, like Brett said, how many children are out at piano bars?
But the kids who watched it growing up, now they're over the hill, like us.
I guess so. No, it's true. I think everyone does know the lyrics to that or their own version of it, depending on how much they've had to drink.
Right. That's true. And it tugs on the heart. It does, Joe.
But for my song, I have to say, you want to stay in control of your audience. And you're the teacher. And so you have to, control the crowd. And then everyone's very proud of their work at the end of the night if they learn the Do Re Mi.
Excellent.
Jeremy, is it bad if I don't like fighting?
I don't
Yes.
think any of us like fighting.
No, we don't. I can see how hesitant we all are to take each other on. Let's just
Yeah.
build each other up. And
You know, Joe, what you had said about not knowing what part of the set it was supposed to be, I think we actually put together a great set between the three of us.
that is so. I was gonna say, because all that jazz is like, it's like hearing "Holiday" by Madonna at a wedding. Everybody
Yeah.
gets up.
I want to do a mashup of these 3 songs. Can we do that?
Let's do it.
5,
Let's do it.
6, 7, 8.
Okay. We got to work.
That
We'll
just
work on
sounded
it.
like mashed potatoes or something.
We're going to bring it back. Rob, come on out. Let's bring our fact checker. We got a tight race here. Rob, we got any fact checking? Or...
Well, you know, my name was invoked by Joe, and I want to give him credit where credit is due. He had those dates spot on. Annie, the musical, 77. The Albert Finney version, 82. Kathy Bates, Rob Marshall version, 99. Jamie Foxx version, 2014. So I agree with him there. You know, I did look up a little article about the best piano bar songs, and they interviewed some accompanists from Marie's Crisis in West Village.
Yes.
And the 2 top songs that they mentioned were All That Jazz and Do Re Mi.
Wow.
Ooh.
There we go.
So you got a lot to think about there, Jer. But it's balls in your court.
I really do. You know, this is a tough one, and I have to say, my gut when I first read these, my gut was I was going to go one way, but I think I might go another. I love All That Jazz, and I thought that was the way I was going to go. And you gave a compelling argument, Brett. And Joe, tomorrow is very uplifting and hopeful, and everybody does know it.
That means we lost, Brett.
But the idea, you know, what David said about being the teacher, keeping people away. You don't want all those drunk people crowding your piano and laying on top, and, you know, and slinkily like Michelle Pfeiffer on top of the.
Speak for yourself, Jeremy.
Yeah.
You're right. I should. I know you enjoy that, Brett. I'm going to go with Do Re Mi. First point to David.
I got the senior citizen discount.
All right. Well, that was a
AARP.
lot of fun. Let's keep it moving, shall we? What did you think, everybody? Viewers, did you agree? What song do you think would be the best musical theater song in a piano bar? Put your comments in the comments section below, and don't forget to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. All right, question 2. Farmers Alley Theater has built a bit of a reputation for taking larger musicals, think Parade, Jane Eyre, Secret Garden, Light in the Piazza, Camelot, to name a few, and reimagining them for our more intimate space. We also have to adapt a musical score for 6 or 7 or 8 instruments as opposed to 20, 30, or 40 that's normally on Broadway. Now, it is well known in many theater circles that the Broadway production of Sweeney Todd in 1989, the revival, used 2 pianos instead of the 40 pieces that Sweeney Todd normally requires. So, question number 2 is, what musical with a grand score would work best transposed to a single piano? This time we're going to start with Brett Ryback. Brett, what do you think?
So one of my absolute favorite musical scores that I would consider a grand score, and part of what makes it so grand, I'm going to reveal the title a little later. Part of what makes it so grand is it's very swimmy. There's a lot of lush string arrangements, and it matches the poetry and the sort of the theme of the piece, and that is The Secret Garden. And yet, I do think that score, because of all the string parts and because of how swimmy sometimes it gets, you lose a little bit of what I think is some of the best accompaniment that has been written, especially for a grand score. And when you reduce it to a single piano, which I imagine it was probably written on, you get so much more definition and a lot more intimacy. And I think that is something that the show would absolutely benefit from. Because it is a really very private story between this young girl and her uncle and his dead wife. So I've just picked a couple selections here to give an example of that. A bit of earth. She wants a little bit of earth. She'll plant some seeds. The seeds will grow. The flowers bloom, but is their bounty what she needs? And so there's so much color is still there, but the intimacy, and so on. But the other great thing about this score is that it has this folk component to it. And so that also will really work well on piano. For example, on Winters on the Wing, you know, we've got, it's like prototypical Jason Robert Brown. Down through the gloom, gone my gray say I. The sun spells the doom of the winter's rain. Ice and chill must retire, comes the day say I. You'll be here to see it. I mean, come on, that's Ben Folds right there. Anyway, so that's my choice for best score that would be condensed into one piano. Secret Garden.
I love it. Well thought out, and some great examples there. Thank you so much, Brett. Excellent work. Let's move to Joe. Joe, what do you think would be the best musical with a grand score to transpose down to one piano?
My answer is a definitive My Fair Lady. My Fair Lady seems like a really big show because of the huge chorus and the multiple sets and the 10 billion costumes and the period design, this, that, and the other. But it's actually mostly 2- and 3-person scenes, and the songs somehow are even more intimate. So you think of a really big song as being I Could Have Danced All Night, but when she sings that, she's, for most of it, alone in bed. And I think that kind of intimacy lends itself to being reduced really, really effectively. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but how are you going to do Get Me to the Church on Time, which is like the big number? And I have a director's concept for when Farmer's Alley wants to do this version of it. Farmer's Alley, by the way, my favorite theater in America, which is Get Me to the Church on Time takes place right outside of the bar, right? They're coming outside of the bar. So you make the bar have a piano in it, and one of the patrons kind of like pushes it towards the window, and you have, as the patrons are singing along, piano bar style. And even a number like Wouldn't It Be Loverly, like you think of that as like a dance number, but it's small, it's delicate. You just have all these intertwining melodies in this very sort of contained space. So my answer is for sure My Fair Lady, and Farmer's Alley is the best theater in America. Thank you. That's my answer. Good night.
And excellent points, especially the one you made at the end there. Very compelling argument right at the end and in the middle. Okay, well done, Joe. Okay, I took some notes there. So let's move to our final contestant, David Maiocco. David, what do you think is the best large musical to transpose down?
You took notes. I needed insulin after that. Oh, the best musical to be transposed down to, reduced down to a single piano, believe it or not, is Phantom of the Opera. Now listen, it takes place in an opera house. Now, they would be rehearsing the operas with just a piano, right? Seeing a ghost light. And I don't think I need to talk much about why it's better if I just play my Phantom of the Opera reduced to one piano. Lots of string lines that are like Secret Garden. Could be blurry, but on the piano, right? And then in the title song, listen to this. And the closing chords.
Speaking of chords.
Meow.
Excellent, excellent work. And your CD, your Phantom of the Opera CD comes out when? Okay. That was amazing. Okay. All right. So we've got another really tight race. These are 3 excellent answers. I've got my work cut out for me. We'll have to bring Rob Weiner back in to share any fact checking he did, or oh no, first we're gonna have you guys battle it out, duke it out. Okay. Joe, let's start with you. Hit back. You know, support yourself or punch somebody in the face. Go.
Well, I just love how David was getting wrapped in chords as he was getting wrapped in arpeggios. It was a very symbiotic relationship. Oh, and he can't even hear me. Talk about hitting someone when they're down.
I
David,
can't get
we
in,
love
so
you.
I'm going to lose this round, I'm sure.
Yes, you are. Okay, so
I hear me.
yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're a little echoey. Joe, keep going.
I don't. My strategy isn't to be difficult to win.
No, I would say I think those are 3 really, really solid answers. I would just say if I didn't get an organ for Phantom of the Opera, that 80s synth organ to start with, I would be fine with an all piano score, but I would just want to get my, you know, with the chandelier and everything. But David, you couldn't be more wonderful. And I don't know, I just like My Fair Lady better than Secret Garden. So
astute argument.
My argument for you, Jeremy, is ticket sales. You know what I mean? When we come back, it's just a thought.
Playing up the producing side. Brett.
I really think of like intimacy as being the main thing. And I think of My Fair Lady when I saw it recently, I was like, oh, this is like really small. This is there's really only those couple of big roles. And then, you know, people who just come in for a scene or two. So I just think that intimacy is supported by the piano only nature. But yes, you were saying someone?
Brett, go.
Yeah, well, no, listen, I think that both choices as well were very excellent and well thought out, and but they both sort of relied a little bit on concepts, directorial concepts. I can see Joe's itching to do a production of My Fair Lady that he directs, whereas mine was a little more rooted in the actual score itself. Now, well, I will say, David, you played the selections gorgeously. I do feel bad for whoever that pianist is who has to do, you know, that over and over again. But when you started playing it, I thought, oh my God, I'm going to lose this, and I hope that candelabra comes crashing down on him. But Joe, the thing is that you know your concept is all rooted around the piano bar, and I think we just discussed that he wouldn't push it in the corner and play "Get Me to the Church on Time." It would be do, a deer, a female deer. So I think you're just, you know, that's what I got to say about those pieces.
Well,
All right,
My Fair
David.
Lady is 1911, so it probably would have been Alexander's Ragtime Band, which again is a better song than "Give Me the Church."
Joe, they had solfege in 1911.
David,
Is that
get in
what
there.
they're eating in the opening scene?
Solfege. It's a French word for solfege. Oh my goodness, Brett. Joe's so
I thought you were
supportive
doing
of both of us,
Phantom,
and
not
we're just-
Cats.
Ooh, that would be a good one too. Wait till you hear that. I don't think we have time, do we, Jeremy?
Next time. Okay, Rob, come on and give me any fact checking that you've got to impart. How did these boys do?
Well,
Julie
I
votes for
mean,
Secret Garden.
Julie, go to hell.
Hey, those are our
Julie
viewers,
Nemitz.
man.
I mean, the Secret Garden, I mean, Farmers Alley Theater did the Secret Garden with a reduced orchestra, not all the way down to a single. So, but I do remember we had a certain amount in orchestra, and then Kathy and Marie were like, "No, we need that cello. Get that cello in there." So, that's sticking in the back of my mind. But I'm not judging
Good
this.
Joe.
I will say the Phantom of the Opera. I did some research. The original Phantom has a 27-piece orchestra. My Fair Lady has a 21-piece. And Secret Garden is 16 pieces. However, I know that there is a small cast version of My Fair Lady around. There was a Triad stage in North Carolina who did it with just a single piano, 10-person version. There's that 2-piano version out there as well.
Did they steal my piano bar idea? Because that's copyrighted.
Probably.
So,
Probably.
I mean, that seems to be out there. So if we want to put that on our schedule, Jeremy, I guess good to know. And let's look for a great director for that somewhere out there.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yes, one of our viewers mentioned that they saw a production. Bob Brunell said he saw Erin O'Shell in a small production. There it is. She was in My Fair Lady with 2 pianos. Okay. What do you think of other viewers out there? What do you think of these arguments? What do you think of another show that maybe could be transposed down to 1 piano? Tell us in the comments section below. Oh boy, I'm really torn.
I'll do it for you.
Okay. All right.
On the spot.
I think I keep coming back to the word intimacy. You know, Joe and Brett both mentioned that word, and I feel like that's the way that I need to go. David, it's an intriguing idea, and I'm curious to see Phantom of the Opera with 1 piano. I would be very, very intrigued to see it. I just don't feel like it would work because it's so grand and it's so huge to me in its scope. And so shrinking down, doing an intimate version of Secret Garden or My Fair Lady seems much more doable. And I guess I really liked Joe's ideas about, you know, doing the Doolittle coming out of the bar and having the 1 piano there, and some of his ideas about how to make it more intimate with that 1 piano. So I'm
gonna. It sounds fresh. No, but just you're saying it back to me, and I'm like, God, that sounds so fresh and original. Go on.
Well, you know, just the ass kissing too really helped you, Joe. So round 2 to Joe Kinosian.
I thought it was Becky, thank you.
So this is how it's gonna go.
And
Julie,
my Kalamazoo mug did nothing.
Oh no! Oh no!
I know. I have one too. I got it. Someone loves me in Kalamazoo. I have a mug.
Yes, I want everyone to get their mugs out and put on their Farmer's Alley T-shirts and ball caps.
Well, for round 3, guys, round 3, Jeremy's Venmo is at electricchair. Whatever that.
Bridget wants to see chess with 1 piano. That would be.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's
well,
a good one. Yeah.
They've tried everything else and it hasn't worked. So let's.
The music's great. We just need a book.
We know which side Bridget's on. Nobody's on.
Nobody's side.
Oh.
No,
Right.
that's a really good idea actually, because chess is so pianistic. It's got all that folk classical.
Yep.
And
It's
it is a great as a What'd you say, David?
It's ABBA.
It's ABBA, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right?
No.
Yeah,
Nothing
chess
wrong
as
with
a
that.
concert is.
And it never
Yeah.
runs long, so you don't want to pay a full orchestra.
Yeah.
Someone needs to write a book for that show. I want to do it. I just need a book. Okay. All right, boys. We got a tight race here, and let's press on to question 3, shall we? All right. Question number 3. So all singers who audition for musical theater productions are aware that there are certain songs they should probably stay away from. There are songs that are overdone, but more importantly, there are songs that are just too difficult to play, and therefore that could cause issues with the singer's performance in the audition room. Now, these talented fellows could probably play anything, but they have each had to play piano for some hopeful performers. So my question to them is, as an accompanist, what song would you least like to see set in front of you at an audition? And we're going to start with Joe Kinosian. Joe, which one?
I went a totally different way with this. I didn't even think of songs that are really hard to play. I will say at an audition once, before the sheet music was published, a woman put The Light in the Piazza from The Light in the Piazza in front of me, and I said, not today, sister. But my argument from strictly an overdone, not all that interesting to begin with, heaven help me for saying this out loud, I'm going to vote for Big Time by Frank Wildhorn, which is just one of those songs that for some reason tons and tons of people sing at an audition, which is reason enough to maybe choose something else. But it just sits around this sort of faux jazzy structure. It's not very, it doesn't like allow you a lot of like good aspects of your musicality and your range. And the lyrics are a little bit problematic from a rapey point of view. I don't know what else other words to use. So a little bit of Big Time goes. And it's just, I find it like square and just not servicing an actor well in an audition. So that's that would be my argument as Big Time from Frank Wildhorn. I'm so sorry to the Wildheads out there. I love you all. Linda Etter, call me anytime, just for fun.
She's pretty amazing. I didn't know this song prior to you selecting it, so I did check it out on YouTube, and I listened. Linda Etter can sing just about anything, but yeah, it does have that kind of generic feel to it, where it's trying to be multiple things and not really much anything of major substance. I do love Frank Wildhorn in many ways, but this isn't one of his best. I would agree.
Yeah, it's so overdone. It's like you come into an audition and just hear it over and over. Okay, I'm done. I know, Rob. Don't give me those eyes.
Rob's cracking the whip, man. Watch out. He will appear in your apartment. Just be forewarned.
Sorry. If you win, do you get like 10 extra seconds, or?
Yes,
we'll give you a minute at the end to pitch all.
You can pitch whatever you're working on. All right, Joe. Thank you so much. Well done.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you.
Let's move to David Maiocco. David, what do you think? What would you least like to see in front of you on an audition?
Anything. But I gotta tell you, when I used to play the auditions and the people would come in, I noticed too that Joe mentioned the Frighten the Piazza. This is the one I never ever want to see. The beauty is from the Frighten the Piazza. Who even thinks of that? I mean, here, I mean, what's your tempo? Bullshit. What do you, oh, okay, here we go.
What's going on?
Yeah, I don't believe in bringing the Frighten the Piazza to an audition unless you're auditioning for the Frighten the Piazza.
Okay, David, points for hystericalness. That was very funny. Thank you.
That's all I got.
I love a good belly laugh, so that was excellent. All right, we're low pressed for time. I'm going to move right to Brett. Brett Ryback, what's the song you would least like to see in front of you at an audition?
I'll be quick. You know, I'm not too afraid of most quick moving songs, and you know, I know Jason Robert Brown gets tossed around a lot as like, don't bring him in. But one song of his that I can't absolutely just makes no sense to me is called "This Is Not Over Yet" from Parade, and it has this figure that's there's no real consistent. I mean, I'm sure it's consistent, and I'm sure it makes sense to him, but it never makes sense to me. And that's about as good as it's going to get for you if you come in and audition for that with that song with me. So there you go.
All right. Short and sweet. This is not over yet from Parade by Jason Robert Brown. Okay. All right. Let's bring our three contestants out to do some battling, to either hold themselves up or punch somebody else in the face. David, let's start with you. What do you want to say?
Well, I want to say that I'm tired of Joe kissing up to the Farmers Alley Theater. I could do the same thing. I just decided to play fair. No, Jason Robert Brown is definitely on the list. The other thing too that like Joe talked about, and it was one of my other thoughts, is that songs that you've played 1,000 times over, like Corner of the Sky or something like that. It's like you can totally zone out and you have no idea that you're even there, and it's that's one of the hardest things. But I'm sorry, all I have to say is don't ever give me Light in the Piazza if I'm playing an audition. Don't do it. And I think I won with that.
Your recreation of all of our first times playing it was pretty
spot on. Yeah, I have to say.
That was pretty funny.
We've all been there, David.
Brett next. I didn't want to jump in. I think
no, Joe, go.
Oh, I was going to say the thing about The Beauty is I think it's a really pretty song. But I hear what you're saying, because it's like the act of playing it is tough. Where I think This Is Not Over Yet is hard to play and also not a great song.
Totally unrewarding.
Yeah, it's just not satisfying.
Yeah.
It's not satisfying. So I think they're all great answers.
But it has high notes, you know. It's like
Yeah.
that.
So you're looking to be satisfied when you're playing auditions.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get through it.
I am. That's why I'm still never had a good day. No,
All right.
I think those are all really good answers. I hate that playing This Is Not Over Yet in auditions, and I feel like I can never find what the hook of it is to play.
No. What do you?
No.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's got to be hard, you guys, to be sitting there and to play a million different songs and try to get everything right, the tempos and the grooves and the rhythms, and
And on top of everything else, now we have to fight each other because some theater company. Did that make up for it, David? The earlier compliment?
There it is.
Good.
You see what he did there?
I did. I'm very astute. Rob, come on back out and help me make a decision here.
Well, you know, I'm glad these guys didn't play auditions because we did Light in the Piazza and we did Parade. So a couple probably heard a couple of those numbers. I, like you, Jared, was unfamiliar with this Frank Wildhorn song, but I did give it a listen as well. And it's got, just sort of that scatty, doo-boppy, fat cat impresario kind of thing that doesn't really work with lyrics like, we'll make a killing, we'll get top billing. So that's stuff like that. But I will say I usually buy all the songbooks. I'm nowhere near as talented as a pianist as this, but I can fake my way through most of it. But when I got the Light in the Piazza book, I can fake my way through anything. It was like, oh, might as well just been in gibberish or upside down like David had it. So that was my 2 cents.
Yes, I'm feeling this. You all made very, very good points and supported them very well. I'm going to say, since we are pressed for time, I'm just going to jump right. Wait, first I want to hear from you, viewers, audience members. What did you think of these arguments, and what do you think?
No, screw the listeners.
Okay,
This is their call.
you guys don't probably play piano anyway. All right.
I'm kidding. Julie, I love
Don't
you.
pay
Let's have
attention to murder for
coffee.
2.
Based on the sheer hystericalness of the way he played his song, I'm going with The Beauty Is from Light in the Piazza. David Maiocco, you are the Broadway Battle Piano Man King.
I just want to say very quick, because I know we're low on time, but here, when I play an audition, what I really care about is that the singer does well. And so you give me something tough, I am going to mess you up if it's too hard to play. So don't do it. But actually, I do. I care that they do well. So don't ever put that in front of me ever again.
Good advice, David. Good advice.
I'm just there for the paycheck, so.
I'm there for the phone
And
numbers.
Joe wants satisfaction.
No, I want the phone numbers.
Is that what you do when the singer comes up? You just grab the phone number?
Hey, you did a really good rendition of This Isn't Over Yet from Parade. Do you want to...
Maybe
you wearing
wearing
I noticed you're not wearing a ring. Is that for the audition or...
Getting phone numbers. All right, the tricks of the trade, everybody. I hope you're taking notes. Seriously, though, you 3 are phenomenal, so talented, and such good sports. Hilda, yes, thank you. Loved and clapping to all the contestants. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your gifts and your insight and your witty repartee. Congrats.
Sure those aren't slaps, by the way. I just want to confirm.
Yes.
Wait, has Joe not won anything yet?
No, it's me. I haven't won anything
Oh,
yet.
Brett hasn't won. Oh, that's right. My Fair Lady Piano Bar won.
Yeah.
Brett,
Can you believe it, David?
Brett, you win congeniality.
Thank you.
Okay.
There you go.
Send us the therapy bills.
No, we'll have to do this again. Would you guys join us again for something like this?
Yeah, since you
You
put
know
us on
what?
the
A
spot, why not?
Wait, what did you say?
I was going to say
Since you put us
no.
on the spot, since we'll say yeah.
Right. How could you say no? Brett is just a winner. Becky says you're a winner no matter
Yes,
what.
Becky.
Thank you, Becky.
So I want to thank the 3 of you again. I want to thank my right-hand man back, Rob Weiner, for checking facts and being Father Time. I want to thank our fantastic producer, Carrie Phillips. Carrie is going to be with us for another installment of Tech Tuesday on July 21st at 8 p.m., where she welcomes fellow amazing artist and her best friend, Savannah Draper, for a design-flavored version installment of Tech Tuesday. Check it out. And then after that, on Sunday, July 26th at 8 p.m., we've got some Broadway trivia. And this time, the theme is all things Grease. No, not the country that Socrates and Jennifer Aniston are from. The movie and the stage musical and the Grease 2 movie, which are all near and dear to my heart. My special guest will be local favorite Nikki Poor, who was in our production of Does Anybody Have a Map and loves all the movies and the shows. Paul Castry, who was in our production of Andrews Brothers and was also in the 1994 Broadway revival of Grease starring Rosie O'Donnell. And my third guest is going to be Bill Burns, who directed and choreographed our production of The Producers and was in the movie Grease 2. He was in it. No one else seems really impressed by that, but I love Grease 2.
That's awesome.
So I'm very
Tonight.
Nope. Yeah,
We're gonna score tonight.
everyone go more.
Let's do it.
I want to
Guys,
hear it.
we were once at a Grease 2 screening that was not a sing-along screening, but Jeremy made it a sing-along screening and almost got us kicked out.
The dialogue, the songs, all of it. The beats, the inflections, all of it. Kathy enjoyed seeing all three of you, and she says
Kathy,
thanks.
I love you.
Thank
You're
you,
wonderful.
Kathy.
Thank you.
She loves you.
Kathy.
Jan says it was great. Everyone, thanks for watching. You three of you, thanks for being here. To keep up with all things related to Farmers Alley, please follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you like this type of content, please let us know in the comments section. And also, if you're able, please help us continue this work by donating to Farmers Alley at farmersalleytheater.online/give. One more time, thanks so much to Brett, Joe, and David, and Rob, and Carrie, our producer. And on behalf of everyone at Farmers Alley, and in the spirit of creating art and theater, which is always collaborative, I want to remind us all that we all have to work together to make the world a better place. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and thanks for being here.
Thank you for
Thanks,
inviting
everybody.
me,
Thanks,
and
Jeremy.
especially
Thank
with these two amazing performers.
Thanks, champ.
Artists and writers. Thank
You
you.
mean
guys.
you mean Jeremy and Rob, right?
Your crown's in the mail.
No.
Your crown's in the mail. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hands over there. There we go.